What it do, Cripple Crew? EDC with DBD, disabled but deadly, and welcome to another Tactical Tuesdays, a special edition today where we talk about keeping the knife industry holding them accountable. I apologize for being a few minutes late. I was having some technical difficulties here at the house. The camera wasn't wanting to work. It wasn't wanting to show, but we got it squared away. We are here now, and I'm glad that you're here with me. Man, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, hasn't it, Cripple Crew? I want to give a shout out to Henry G and Marco McRanger. They were the first ones in the chat. Now let's scroll up to the top. All the way to the top. McRanger popping in both them chats. Member Cripple Crew Inc. Edgets. Mr. Durbin himself. What it do? David Judici popping in early. What's up, my man? Good to see you, Clint effing Crosby. What's up, Guns? What it do, brother? What it do? Robo frickin' Steve-O. What's up, brother? We scrolling. Let's see. We got everybody chatting it up. I love to see that. We got the Jake. What's up, my man? How you doing today? GST. Great Southern Treadkill. He says back in a few, he checked into that vert first, stabbed that like button. How do you know you're actually the Jake? Maybe you're just some Jake. Oh, shit. You know, with everything going on in the knife industry right now, I wouldn't put it past them to be using counterfeit Chinesium Jake. I think testing is appropriate and probably required. Rachel Jordan, member of Cripple Crew Inc. What it do? Credentials. See, I don't know if credentials are enough. Like, anybody can produce a piece of paper. Like, what testing is involved? Matt Conklin, member of Cripple Crew Inc. What it do? Dropping them badass emojis. Check that out. Love to see it. Crossley's Workshop. What's going on, my man? I am doing well. Hope you are also. Member of Cripple Crew Inc. By the way, Rachel Jordan also dropping them badass emojis. Yeah, you're in the horizontal. There is a vert going today as well. You know, today's an important topic and it may pull in new people, and we want to hear everybody's opinions on what's going on in the knife industry right now. Dawn and Chris Lowry. Yeah, I'm Mike Lowry. What's going on? Every time I read your name, that's what I think of. I think of Bad Boys. Yeah, typically more people chill in the horizontal, but sometimes new folks pop in the vert. And if you are in the vert, this is not the last time that I will say this today, but there is a link to the horizontal stream in the pinned comment. You can see the whole map, but more importantly, you can chat with the rest of the crew. Well, Mud dropped by, and he got out of the house at like 9:58. But then the camera didn't want to connect for a moment, and it was my dumbass fault. I had turned the Wi-Fi off because I had reset everything, you know, before the live and all that earlier, before Mud got here. And I had not turned the Wi-Fi back on yet. And that's why the camera was tripping out on my phone to show. And it was my fault. But the hardness testing is one step, definitely. I wish we had more people with resources available to do the kind of testing that Lee with Love Them Knives does every once in a while. And we need to get that information that he already has, his lists of knives, because he always shows the printed out pieces of paper and shit. Like, we need somebody to do the same thing to that information that they did with the Taylor Hardness website that we're going to take a look at. Welcome back, GST. In that horizontal now, Neil Mudd, my brother, member of Cripple Crew. Hey, what a dude, dropping them badass emojis. Leon, checking in from France. Leon, I'm probably going to destroy this. Leon hold on, we're going to do this one more time. Leon Netnois. Netois? Netois. Leon Netois is what we're going to go with. How badly did I mess that up, Leon? Eagle Scout EDC, what's up? Cat Scratch Knives, what's up, homie? By the way, Eagle Scout EDC, member of Cripple Crew Inc. Buzz Beast, my brother from a Dutch mother, checking in from the Netherlands. Dropping them badass emojis, member of Cripple Crew Inc. What's going on? Ooh, love to see everybody dropping them emojis. Let's see. Scrolling. My credentials are fake. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Not only, hey, but there's a lot of Jakes with CC dubs. See, Robo has, Robo has me doubting now. You know what they say about conspiracy theories? Let it rest 6 months and you'll find out they're the truth. But man, not only do we have access to more knives at better prices, and yes, prices have gone way up on some stuff. I get that. But like, our access to amazing knives, amazing designs from so many companies is unlike ever before. But how many companies do we have? Maybe not even say defrauding us on the level of Bark Rivers, which that's exactly what it was. That was millions and millions of dollars milked from thousands of people. Selling them fake stuff, more than just the models that they've admitted to. Absolute massive, not just, blunder, as he said. No, it's a straight up fraud. And I don't even have to say allegedly, because he's admitted to it. So I ain't even got to say allegedly to cover my booty. But, now we have Tools for Gents, TFG, Tools for Gents over in Europe, a major knife distributor, recalling knives, claiming that Tuya sold them improperly marked steel, saying that it's not M390. We have a statement from Dave from Tuya USA showing testing. And we're going to look at all of this. But even if that is not, and like, even if that's 100% on the up and up, and that was straight up M390, people are wondering now. There's a lot. People are, it's not just knife owners that are wondering what's in their blades, but you have major distributors and retailers that are questioning things now. It's going to be really interesting. We're going to look at that stuff here in a minute after we made Gonzo's credentials on an Etch-a-Sketch. Bulldog, what's going on? Daniel, how you doing, homie? Kane Effin Miranda, member of Cripple Crew Inc., dropping in badass emojis. Oh yeah. And let's see. It's partly his fault for sure. No, it's mostly his fault. But I'm good with it. Make it sick today. Ooh, that sucks, homie. I hope you feel better soon. Throat go EDC. Incident with Kid Rock and the Apaches. I did not. I'm I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know if you're joking. Like, I'm way out of the loop on that one, obviously. Berkeley Severcoat. What's going on? You butchered it. I figured. Normally I'm really good at last names, but like that to me looks like if I was guessing French, Netois, but Netoya, because like I thought that like that EUR was like a wah, but even that I know it sounds like way off from what you're hearing. But Robert Jones, remember Cripple Wink? Yeah, I have zero idea how to pronounce French. Can you drop that? Can you drop that shit phonetically? I want to try. So I guess I could ask like ChatGPT. I'm not saying Beekeeper. Conspiracy theories are just spoilers. Yeah, yeah. No shit. Scrolling. And then and I was gonna say, not only do we have that from uh Tools for Gents and Tuya, but we also have more people testing now, and a lot of people, a lot more thanks to the Bark Rivers thing. But we have folks like Taylor Hardness, and we're going to take a look at the Steel Hardness Lab in a bit, who are doing amazing work testing to see if the HRC is true to what folks are advertising. And that is going to cause quite a shakeup as well. YTMP, YouTube Music Portal. What's up? Working and lurking. He can't say hi to everybody, but that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. I hope you have a blessed week as well, my friend. Scrolling. Illuminati up a ninja. OG member Cripple Wink. Fake shakes. Next, you're going to tell me DBD is in fact not disabled and Robo is not a cyborg leg Sasquatch. Yeah, Barkgate was bad for knife makers. 100. I think it's going to be, man, I don't want to say, because I don't want to sound overly dramatic, but I know we're going to find that it wasn't just limited to Bark River knives and pullback knives, like about Made in USA, and and Kodiak Edge. What's going on, oh man? Don't think I have any Tuya knives. Well, and like Tuya put out a statement that we will show when I get through the greetings. That states that they have had this steel independently tested, and it is M390, and it is what where they said it is, and they've dropped the receipts on the testing, but I don't know. A lot of it was in Dutch or German. I don't remember which, but it was the Tuya Europe statement. Like Apache helicopters? Did a low flyover? Rolf Robertson, member of Cripple Crew Week, what's going on? Says he asked this question a few years ago and knife tubers got mad at me. Now look, like we said, conspiracy theories are only conspiracies until we find out, yeah, they're true. But you know, it's anytime people had tried to raise questions, they were attacked. There's been multiple people over the years. I'm using Bark River specifically since 2006 who have tried to say that the steels weren't what they said they were, or even reporting major quality control issues, and being attacked. There was a guy who had a knife with, a knife with two completely different fullers on each side. And when he sent pictures of it in and posted it, Mike attacked him and said he was posting two different knives and he was full of shit. And the Bark River fanboys or ball huggers or whatever you want to call them, like totally attacked the dude until he posted video. And other people have been accused of damaging their own knives. It's crazy. Thomas, what's up, homie? Blessed EDC, member Cripple Crew Inc. Kane Miranda's back. I have this knife out at the moment because I believe he has tested Bastide Elmax since our live stream with Taylor Hardness on Saturday. I purposely haven't checked the website since then because I wanted to see how many, the website shows you how many have been added since your last visit. And I want to see how many he's added since we talked to him on Saturday. But I'm very curious about Bastide's Elmax heat treat after seeing how low the HRC was on the Chavez Elmax. You're making knives by hand, you can damn sure tell what is Magna Cut. Pardon me. Basically, they were flying by and stopped by it. So, like by his house. And there's trouble over it now. Justin Polly, member of Cripple Crew Inc., dropping the badass emojis. What's up? What's up? Scrolling. Make FM Ranger, member of Cripple Crew Inc., dropping the badass emojis. I'm gonna pull up the recall order. It's knives that Tuya they were Tuya OEM knives that were sold by Tools for Gents. I have reached out to Tools for Gents for further statement and clarification in English, and have not heard back from them yet. Did they pull it down? Did they pull it? They had the statement up on their website. I'm looking. I know I should have let me go to a certain, whoops. I want to look for a certain chat. Let me scroll. Give me a moment. I'm looking for what they said, and then I can read you the Tuya knife response. Okay, I found the old post, the recall post. This post is not up anymore. So before I continue the hellos, the what it do's, oops, let me hide this. There we go. And what you're looking at here is a recall due to suspected misrepresented misrepresented on the Tuya Queen Anne's Revenge knife. The Queen Anne's Revenge. They're offering vouchers equal to the original purchase price for all affected knives. Customers may also choose to keep their knife if they're satisfied with it. Strong justified suspicions that the declared steel does not match the actual material used. Due to the lack of transparency and unresolved questions regarding products and availability, we have decided to take this step. What happens next? Further information will follow in the coming days. And then they say their commitment is to stand by transparency, trust, and responsibility. So this got blasted everywhere yesterday morning, first thing Monday morning. Tuya put out a statement, but yeah, that have to be we can translate it here. But the Tuya Knife Dealer Tools for Gyms expressed suspicion in his statement yesterday that the Tuya Knife Queen Anne's Revenge model would not be delivered with original Bowler M93, M390 steel. At the time of discussion about Bark River, statements like this understandably shake trust. As a long-term importer of Tuya Knife, we would like to provide our customers with additional information on this. The education on this matter is in our own interest. So they went on to further post with this is the Tuya Knife United States statement. And actually, I want to pop out of there. Still not what I'm looking for. There we go. Let's just get off of that screen now for a moment while I pull up. I'm going to read the Tuya Knife state. It's been... Am I at Tuya Knives US? Because it looks like the statement is down. Wait, that was Tuya Knives. I need Tuya Knives US. There it is. Whoop. Oh, I can't go to all. Nope. I can't see all of the slides, but we're going to read this statement anyway. And I'm going to share it on the screen. So I wanted that there was a post where I could see, all of these other pictures that showed the actual testing that proved it was M390. But again, that needed a translation. But what Dave Warren said is, I just want to address recent concerns posted by a European retailer. I'm also sharing the pics from our Tuya European distributor, which shows test results from Bowler showing the seal is consistent with M390. HRC is also as advertised. Tuya Knives guarantees steel use on the Queen Anne's Revenge or any other models as authentic Bowler M390. Heat treated to correct hardness has been validated by Bowler's own testing laboratory. There's no evidence to suggest otherwise. While Tuya does not purchase directly from Bowler due to minimum order requirements, all M390 and S90B are sourced through certified steel supplier. Like now, I don't know if they threw S90V in there because somebody was questioning the S90V. Personally, I assure you all that I wouldn't be part of any dishonest business practices like that. My personal opinion doesn't make sense because I Googled cost of steel, small batch company like this to make 100 piece 3-inch knife blades in M390 is only $500 to $800. Cost and belts, la 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 la. To help them spend $13,000 for camo carbon fiber, yada yada. Steel isn't a big deal. So it'd be like $500 to $800 or $5 to $8 per knife difference to risk the reputation of your business. He's been the U.S. rep for Tuya for 9 years. And, he goes on to talk about his family and how he trusts Tuya. But you can read the rest of the statement on the Tuya Knives US. But I didn't see. Let's see if they have the Tuya Europe. Tuya Knife Europe. Go to the profile. There we go. So they do, the Tuya Knives has a statement up. I'm not going to read. Oh, they put up the same. Oh, we did read that statement, but they don't have the full picture with all the testing. I know I saw it yesterday. Anyway, so that's the Tuya story. But it's easy to sell different steels because there's no way to check what's been sold to you. Yeah. Yeah, no easy way. There is a way to check, but it costs a lot of money. And you have to have somebody with the right equipment. Split and slices, Byron. Unfortunately, his market has increased, so do Charlatans. Exactly why it's important for industries to self-police. Otherwise, Uncle Tony and Cousin Paulie gotta call a 5-gallon bucket. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. You're exactly right. As it blows up and as there's more and more money in it, that's, as markets increase, like he says, when people see that they jump in there, whether they have any experience in that market at all or not. Knives Alive, what's up, Cal? How you doing, homie? Miranda Keith lurking and packing up to head out to work again. Member Cripple Cooing, good to see you, sis. Drive safe. It won't. Oh, it can't cripple the industry. I agree. I think it was Scab that said, one of our oldest tools, and it's something that you've heard on this channel many times. Our oldest tool, well, not our oldest tool, but one of our oldest tools was something sharp and pokey on a handle. Like, sure, we made clubs first, but I mean, you can pick anything up and have a club. Something like this has been a tool that has stuck with us for thousands of years. We've always needed them. We've always been fascinated by them. And there's always been, true craftsmen in the art of knife making. And the industry that we are, the interest that we have in this industry is just too big. It's just too big to cripple the industry. What I hope it does is it causes people to rethink. I hope it causes some brands to rethink their practices. I hope it gets everybody, keeps everybody honest from here forward. And I do think that we might see some companies fall away, here or there, or maybe find out about other makers that are, lying. And that's okay. That's okay. If we lose those, that's okay. But we are still going to be here. We're not going anywhere. You're not going to like knives any less. I'm not going to be any less interested in knives. Now, may we be more careful? Sure. But again, that's a good thing. Yeah, Hobart River knives. Yeah, I've heard that one. That's a very fitting. Cal says hello to everybody. He's on his phone, so we can't tag y'all. Y'all know Cal loves you, though. Kodiak says, yo to all homies of the Cripple Crew. This whole thing is why I don't buy from premium or custom makers. I prefer big companies that are trustworthy with their steel. Huh? You know, it's funny. I'm gonna let the dogs out while I talk about this. I'm gonna walk and talk. But you know what? While we do that, we're gonna flick the Noxes because it just sounds so good. But there are people that were doing real world testing and calling them out and calling BS. But it is surprising that in all of this time, because I mean, he had issues, Mike Stewart, we're talking about, with previous knife companies, Blackjack and what was it, Marbles. He's lost judgments. He's in default of a judgment, allegedly. I believe that, and I mean, that's public record, but I'm just trying to cover my rear. So we're even going to throw allegedly in quotation marks. But it is surprising that somebody hasn't yet, because the equipment has been available for a few years at least. You know, Lee has been doing the good work there. I want to give him big credit, but he sends multiple batches, or he sends batches of multiple knives at a time to have the composition tested to see what the makeup of the steel is, and then what that equates to what steel the most likely is, and get an HRC result on it. But that costs a lot of money. He does all of that out of his pocket. And like when we were talking to Taylor Hardness, he was saying that even though it's very easy with the machines that he has to very, very accurately test the HRC of steels, while they have the equipment to test the actual composition of the steel, it'd be like $150 per test. It's very expensive and time consuming. And I think that has been the main drawback. Also raises the question, do you really need a super steel other than corrosion? You know, I was watching a stream or a video earlier today. I think it was Big J's Knives talking about, no, it wasn't. It was something Mike. How they hid their inferior steel through geometry. They did a convex edge at such a thin secondary bevel, the convex bevel, that it was such a thin behind the edge measurement that it was going to be slicey no matter what it was to start off with. You know, it was going to be slicey in the beginning no matter what. Even if, he was one of the many that have said Bark River frequently had burnt edges. I have never owned a Bark River knife. I have caught up on this by watching too many hours of videos from people who have over the years, and even now, have multiple Bark River knives. And, every one of them mentioned massive QC issues that they've dealt with, knives that they've had replaced, fights that they've had. If they didn't get, they did say that DLT always treated them well and replaced stuff. But what's crazy to me is they kept buying them. But again, if you can hide a lot through geometry, then it does make you wonder if we're paying more for the super steels, more for our ego than anything else. Yeah, I figured it was only a matter of time until somebody has to see the warning. I was letting it sit there on purpose. Man, CTS XHP holds a freaking phenomenally razor sharp edge. Let's just say it got me very good yesterday. It's what happens when you're not paying attention. This edge was put on this knife by Boston Blade Works. Mike over there, I can highly recommend, because this thing is like a scalpel still. And I have and I continue to carry this because it's one of my favorite knives. And you know, I love to use this because the tip is just so pokey, so fine that I can cut stuff open really easily. If I'm getting into a box that's really packed and I want to make sure I don't slice anything, I can guide it, keep it with my finger, but have just this like, it's better than an X-Acto blade. It's so sharp. I love this Spyderco warning. And listen with the aluminum scales. Listen to this by the mic. Oh my, I'm 20 minutes behind on comments. We need to catch. Oh, it's because we were reading statements and stuff, but I need to get caught up. Let's do some quick catching up. Does anyone need a Lamborghini? No, but it's exactly. That's what. It's more for our egos, but you know, it's also some of these super steels are more worth it than others. You know, I believe. Shut up, Mud. I don't want to hear that. Don't say that. We don't need that. It's only 37 degrees right now. You know, we talked about this. I got to get caught up on the stream, but I'm still going to say, we talked about this the other day. It's one of those things that I still like the knife. Now we'll see how long it holds its edge, but I still like this knife. I'm a big fan of Chavez designs, and getting one at this price range. The knife is made by Riot and done very well. And we'll see if it gets the edge retention. You know, but it's going to have the toughness and corrosion resistance of the LMAX still. And now I hope that in the future, but he didn't lie. That's what these were advertised at. So in the future, would it be cool to see them go for a higher hardness? Yeah, but I still love the knife, and I will probably still add more. I want a Sanger street, or not street. I mean, I would even take one street, but I want the Sanger Warnies. Yeah, it's going to be. We're going to look at it. Is that what it says? 60.4? 60 to 62 is the optimum range for LMAX. So, is it going to get the best LMAX edge retention? No, but it's going to get the best toughness out of the LMAX. It still should have good edge retention. Good edge retention. But You know, 61 to 62 is where you get the best edge retention out of helmets, but 60 to 62 is the acceptable range. So getting that on a knife this well built at this price, I ain't complaining about at all. That's why we need the test. Yes. And folks, that's why if you've got a few extra bucks, get with Taylor, send your knives in and add to the database. Kathleen Smith, what's up, sis? You are, I don't know if you still are, but you popped into the vertical stream. I'm going to try to get caught up. If you want to see the rest of the crew, sis, they're in the horizontal stream. That link is pinned. Kelly, what's up, sis? Good to see you. Just buy carbon steel oil your blade once in a while. I do. I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan of carbon steels. Yeah, I'm okay with that. California conservative, no, not hawk to ya. What's up? What's up? I agree. There will be more of this. Yeah, no, I said Dutch first, but then I corrected myself to German. No, I said German first and then maybe Dutch. I did say German. I hadn't looked at it really. Like I in a minute, I forgot. William, Basso, checking what's up, homie. You're in that vert. I see you. You probably are already in the horizontal by the time I get caught up. Leatherman, stay sharp. The blade on my Leatherman kick that I've had since 2006 is still decently sharp. Like it came so screaming sharp. It was the sharpest knife in my collection for a long time back. But you know, mostly I had tactical knives then. But that Leatherman would slice through time and space. And I don't remember if the kick was 420 HC, if it was 440. I don't remember. But I will say it was sharp as hell. Joe Isabella, what's up, my man? He's lurking, so if he doesn't tag you, that's why. It's not because he don't love you. No, I know Dutch and Deutsch are not the same. I'm only going to go so far down the HSC rabbit hole. Pretty dope that we have people watching our backs. Yes. See, the biggest thing is you buy what you love, you know, and use it. The HRC isn't as big a deal unless like we talked about. What's up, Scott? Good to see you, homie. Time is almost up. Caught it last week. Oh no. That sucks, brother. That sucks. Love you, brother. Blunt and thumpy, sharp and pointy will be around forever. Yes. Yes, we are going to find out a lot more companies. And see, the thing is, that's what we need to really go after is people that are lying to us about what they're doing. And that's another part where the HRC does come into play. Because if they're advertising something at 62 to 64 and it's coming in at 659 to 60, we've got a problem. If multiple steals from them in this, if multiple knives from a company in the same steel are testing with a 5-point HRC swing, we got a problem. I wouldn't worry about it as much, like as far as if you already have a knife you like and you find out the HRC is a couple of points lower than you hoped. Like I wouldn't be like, it's a crap purchase if you love the knife. But all this information needs to be used to make sure the knife companies aren't defrauding us. We spend a lot of money on this stuff, you know? Brando! What's going on? Hey, good luck at the new job. And here's the thing. The Benchmade fanboys are going to attack this information the same way that the Bark River fanboys have attacked everybody that have called them out over the last 20 years. Like if you spoke up and said anything, the Bark River fanboys, ball huggers, whatever you want to call them, the Mike Stewart Brigade, would just they freaking attack you. DP Gladius, what's going on? They're like Leaf Springs everywhere. Yeah. Leaf Springs, railroad ties. There's a lot of old stuff you can use. Files. Yay. Good to hear it, brother. Made my best knives out of old trailer Leaf Springs car tie rods. Don't use new steel. You're part of the problem. We've had Rutherford Forge from South Africa here on the channel, and interviewed them. And all of the steel that they use is repurposed. Brando's working, can't tag everybody, but he says love y'all. Kane Miranda dropping a really good interview, he says, that Shay did with Pocket Privilege. Yay. Pocket Privilege. What's up, homie? Good to see you. Yeah. Losing our furry family is very, very tough. A piece of us always goes with them, but they make our lives so much bigger and better when we have them. That's the trade-off we're willing to make. Opal, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Hope you are also. It's true. Yeah, geometry. Geometry is more important, or just as important as any other, as HRC or steel selection. Dominic has to go to the hearing doctor. Well, sounds like a fun day. Zachary Roberts, people acting so surprised about it, but the reality is we have fakes in everything. True. Oh, we need the sharp soda again to get it done. You are kicking it right now. I don't know if you have already moved, but you're in the vertical stream. If you would like to see the whole mat and see what the rest of the crew is saying, the horizontal link is pinned. I'm trying to get caught up on this chat, but everybody, like, I knew this is a chat that was going to be important. Zachary Roberts. Yeah, this is going to be I just said hello. Yeah, whoops. I'm just not used to that. Where are you on that beach? Or I see the looks like the ocean with that wall. Is that Mediterranean? I can't tell from that little picture. Scrolling Dwayne F. and Letterman. What's up? When you're buying my knife, you're paying for my work. Yeah. I have a pink knife. I do not, because every pink knife has been given to the deadly daughter. And they're all with her in college. There are purple knives in the house. Thanks to Mrs. Deadly. But I don't have any pink. I've had some really dope pink knives come in. And I bought some really dope pink knives, but they were all either bought for, or the ones that were sent in for review that were awesome were given to the deadly daughter. It isn't that we need super steels, but what we need is honesty. 100%. We need to know that when we are paying for super steels, that's what we're getting. Or, even more important, if we're paying for handmade quality USA products of any kind, we need to know that's what we're getting and not some cheap Chinesium kit. I think that pisses me off even more than using the fake steels is the fact that it was an American company stating that they were making their knives in America by hand using Chinese kid steels. Yeah, it's a status symbol as well. Absolutely. You drop them emojis. Rep the Cripple Crew. Yo, the Cripple Crew Gear Corner is live where you can get your badass Cripple Crew and Disabled Gear but Deadly clothing and accessories. You want to check that out. We got hats, we got beanies, we got t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got coffee cups and sports bottles. We got flags to rep your Disabled but Deadly status loud and proud. You're not supposed to touch the sharp part. Most people don't use them to their potential. That is true. Yeah, yet. No, I bet you're in a pissy mood. I understand, brother. You know, and here's the other thing. Both of my favorite knives are in non-super steels. One of them I know the HRC on. One of them I don't. I don't care. I use the hell out of these knives. This one only since the 5th of this month, but since then it's been the knife that does all my cutting. I can't stop reaching for it. It's always on my belt and it just feels too good in my hand. But you guys know the abuse I've put Lagatha through. Carrying her everywhere, using her for everything for over a year. By far my most used blade. I have never sharpened Lagatha. And I could strop her again. She could use a little bit of a stropping right now. Whoops, that's glue. She could also use a cleaning. But yeah, it just stuck to the glue. It was like, let me clean her off and then we will try that again. But I will show you that this AEBL with a hand done edge and this is better than any super steel I own. And this Bark River Knives is even more reason to support custom knife makers. I just wiped it off a little bit. Didn't strop it. Didn't even fully clean it. I just wiped it. But yes, this Lagatha is still sharp as hell after a year of no sharpening on purpose. On purpose. I have abused her. And this is AEBL. And it's my best knife. Geometry matters. A custom heat treat matters. This has been made with care by hand. And we have so many amazing makers in our community, not just Aries. We have a bunch in this chat. But going and supporting custom knife makers is a better and safer use of your money. I would say right now, and always. But yes, it does show that we don't need super steels. This 80 CRV2. We grab another piece of paper. This is just a simple, old, high carbon tool steel. Older than me. Heat treated in every shop to some HRC. I can tell you that Lagatha tested out at 61.6 HRC, but agape is whatever it is. Oop, I hit the choil. I have, for the last month, it's been my most used knife. EDCrV2. Acid washed, so I don't have to worry about corrosion on the high carbon tool steel. Hard to beat. You can't beat a custom knife. And just especially if you're looking for fixed blades. We have awesome folding knife makers. If you're looking for insane factory precision, then, you know, you're going to have to go with a production knife company. Even, you know, because stuff made by hand isn't going to be as precise as people using CNC mills and such. But if you're looking at fixed blades, there's really no reason not to go custom. Rendition tested was the M390 version. They list that at 61 to 63. Ooh. I don't like that because it came in lower than that. We are going to be looking at those HRCs soon. Tell me lies you want, just don't charge me. Yeah. Scroll in. Yeah, happiness is key. If you love it, so be it. That's why I say, even when I don't like a knife, and I'll tell you all the reasons I don't like a knife in a review, I'll still say if you love this design, if you really want this knife, buy what you want. You know, if it's garbage, I'll highly recommend not buying it. But I don't tell you how to, I tell you not, I can't tell you how to spend your money. I can tell you what I think about something. But if you love the knife, buy what you love. Buy what's going to make you happy, not what made me happy. And if you're happy with something, don't let a couple of points of HRC, 1 or 2 points of HRC, destroy your happiness in it, especially if you've already been using it and it's held up to the use. Don't let it destroy your happiness. Now, if you find out it's not what it was purported to be and you paid for, we're talking something different. Yeah, their Ozark, their heat treats are so wildly crap. Yeah, at least it's not optimal at all, but at least they're honest. Yeah, that bugs me at all. Or bugs me completely that is an option at all with RIA. That you can opt to go for the lower heat treat or the higher heat treat, but they're both marked the same on the blade. I mean, there should be like an HT or an HH or a high heat or something that separates their higher hardness LMAX from a lower hardness LMAX or any steel. We should get a differentiator if they're offering that option. I have no problem with people making tough outdoor choppers from old leaf spring. The issue. Exactly. I don't have to have a super steel. I don't. Don't lie to me though. Henry J. Yo, I've never owned a Bark River, or proudly have never owned Bark River or Benchmade. I've had a couple of Benchmades. I'm not a Benchmade fan at all. The bug out never worked for me. Even when I pimped it out, it didn't work for me. But that bug out has been traded off for a knife I love. And then Rolf Robertson put that bug out up for auction, donated it, and it went up for auction and raised quite a bit of money for a very good cause months and months ago. So that bug out went on to do a lot of good. I just never liked it. My next bug out my next Benchmade was a mini grip that I got for only 99 bucks. It was a Spidey hole mini grip in S30V. I put aluminum scales on it immediately from Flightanium, and I loved that knife. I liked it so much, I gave it to my son for his birthday, and he loves it. And now my only Benchmade in my collection, and like I don't chase Benchmades. I don't. I'm not looking to add any more to the collection, but this one will never leave. Is Mrs. Deadly got me the SHOT Show 2025 limited edition Mini Freak in textured Ultim and purple Cerakote M4. Like, it was the perfect combination of Ultim for me, purple for her, and she got this for me as a Christmas gift because there were still some available, and our sis Kelly told me about a stupid deal on them. Well, it wasn't a stupid deal. It was what they should have been priced at. So originally these were over 300 bucks. They were like 325. And that's insane to me. But they were on a clearance sale for 180, which that was palatable. And Mrs. Deadly got this for me for Christmas. And I do really dig this. I only have 2 knives with M4 steel. I don't think he has tested any Benchmade M4, but I'll never let this knife go because it was a Mrs. Deadly gift, and it does, for a Benchmade, fit my collection at least. I would still like to check out the Claymore series, but I'm not willing to buy them. Yeah, Bark River Nut Huggers. You got your spam with the lid of the can. True that, true that. Not only do your research, but as a community, we have to be better about not attacking people. If I'm going to let the dogs in while I walk and say this. So if you are a Ford guy, you defend Ford to the death. If you're a Chevy guy, you do it for Chevy. If you like Coke over Pepsi or Pepsi over Coke, we fall into these clans and we will argue our side till we're blue in the face. And some communities get crazy with it. Benchmade fanboys, all the Benchmades, fluffers, all of the Bark River fluffers. They get to a point where they attack people when they try to bring anything like this to light. And as a community, we need to be better about not attacking people trying to share their information or their experience. Now, does that mean you believe everything everybody says as if they hate a knife? Not just because Brian F. hates Conwoo doesn't mean Conwoo makes a crappy product, right? But we need to not go after people like, say, Erica's EDC when she shared her experience and was attacked saying that she did stuff to knives, or the DBK when they snapped the Magnica blade. I mean, we can't attack people when they're bringing their experience and information. Buddies pick on me for being Kershaw. They love Benchmade. I've been way more impressed with what Kershaw has done in the last few years personally. Now, and I thought it was funny because I sent a picture of that new updated like super bug out. I don't remember what they're calling it, but that new super bug out with the Benchmade Narrows axis lock and the aluminum scales. It's coming in really thin. I told them that one because that is like the most focused iteration of a bug out ever, like the most bug outest bug out they could make. I would like to check one out. I told them don't tell anybody because this will hurt my reputation. I would like to review one. Am I going to buy one? No, but I would like to review one. Kershaw Iridium button G10. It's dope. The Kershaw Iridium series, very good. We have Pink Spyderco. German and Irish, perfect combination to be an alcoholic with a bad temper. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, I got to catch back up now that I was messing with dogs and such. With those badass emojis. Do your research. Yes. Take it easy, William Orbosso. Good to see you, homie. Absolutely. Check the Bluminati Twisted Sis Dojo. They've got some insane gear. Have a fantastic day, Daniel. Make sure you're following, homie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Burning Stables Forge, fantastic as well. Laser Ghost Knives, Donnie B. Hood morning, homie. Hope you enjoyed that pregame before work. Supporting people in our knife community is awesome. 100. Terry, 1931 Leatherworks. What's going on? Tactical Terry's good to see you, my friend. Check out 1931 Leatherworks, people, for some awesome handmade leather gear. You can not only get what he offers on there, but he does custom leather work. If you've got a knife you want a slip or a sheath for, if you're looking for a wallet, if you need a pen, if you need, a belt sheath to hold a knife, a pen, and a flashlight, if you need something leather, reach out to Terry. You're looking for some awesome clothing, some dope knife shaped tees are back with free shipping for a limited time at the One Moon shop. He does all the art himself. A good 1095 or D2 is nothing to crap on. Word, when done right, and they're easier to do right. Yes, I can show the Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper. Nine and 3/4 inches of amphibian, at least inspired. Now, here's a question. We've got 50 people in the live. Is there anybody in the live that has a Microtech amphibian that would be willing to allow me to review it next to this Meteor? I know this is heavily inspired. I have had somebody that has both of them say that if there's enough differences that he doesn't consider it a copy. But I would really like to compare this to a Microtech amphibian and see if this is worth it as a budget alternative at only $139. Now, if you allow me to review your amphibian, I'll send the Reaper to you when I send the Meteor back, or if you allow me to review your amphibian, I will send you the Reaper to check out as well when I send yours back, so that you can compare them side by side. So let me review yours. I'll let you review mine. If anybody in here has an amphibian and they're down, let me know. Scroll. Yeah, absolutely. The dopest handmade custom folding knives. Laser Ghost knives. You know, I said it's hard to find you're not going to find knives with the precision of a Riot production knife. But if you're looking for a folding knife with freaking soul, that is a true one-of-a-kind knife that you can pass down for generations. It's going to last you forever and look dope and do everything you ask of it. You're not going to beat a Laser Ghost knives. It's going to outdo any of those precision Riots that you're going to find. And your great grandkids will eventually be rocking your Laser Ghost knife in the future. Tree out vow. What it do? Apex Karry. What's going on? Friends don't let friends Ozark. Appreciate you, homie. Matt Conklin is letting me review his Microtech U80 or Ultratech 85 because I have not checked one out yet. I haven't checked out any Microtech OTFs, and I've never reviewed a Microtech. I have only handled a few at Lynch Northwest. Take it easy, brother. Have a safe drive. Tell both of your beautiful daughters, of course, and the rest of the family, but I know today's a trip with the daughters, that I said hello. 555 is epic. Is that the Claymore? I'd like to check out the Claymore and Mini Claymore. I'll never pay for them. You know what I'm saying? I won't pay the butterfly tax. Scrolling. We need to be better, more open-minded. True. Buying 2 liters at gas station. Apex Karry. Yes, also, besides the makers and the products that are being dropped, mods will be dropping links to some awesome knife channels. If you want to see some of the dopest knife content on the internet and knife and EDC content, follow the channels that they're sharing. Make sure when you're following new channels that you watch something, like and drop a comment so that YouTube doesn't scrub the sub. Also, when you see a link drop, even if you think you're following it, it doesn't hurt to click it and check, because so many times YouTube does scrub subs and you might find out you're no longer subscribed. There are channels I've subscribed to 3 times, even with leaving comments. But especially when a channel gets near a milestone, you lose as many as you gain, or even more, for a while. It really fluctuates. So double check. Steve Al, member Cripple Inc. What's up? Yeah, it looks like, I read the statement. We saw the receipts that were posted. It looks to me like the post about the recall has been pulled down. So I don't know if they canceled that, but I couldn't find it today. I read our old screenshot of it, but I couldn't find it today. I don't know if the recall was recalled. No, absolutely. He should never be allowed back in the knife industry. He tried to state that his son and daughter didn't know about it. I call BS. And his son's supposedly going to start a knife company now. And you're supposed to trust his son, though. And his son's going to do the Bark River warranty work. I call BS. Everybody there knew what was going on. The employees have admitted as much. And to me, those employees should never be employed in the knife industry again. Yes, they were put in a tough situation. Yes, it's wrong that they weren't paid. Yes, it's wrong if they had a hostile work environment. None of that makes it all right to sell your soul. And they were part of defrauding thousands of people out of millions of dollars. There's no excuse for fraud and being a part to it. There's no world in where the people who ground off made in China marks or who ground off steels and stamped CPM 154 or MagnaCut or 3V or whatever steel they stamped on it. There's no world in where that was okay. You were looking for a job when you found that one. You don't sell your soul to keep it. You just go find another job. And if you stuck around and were willing to not only look the other way about something you knew, but to actively take part in the fraud. Your job was actively reshaping these blades, actively removing marks, actively placing false marks on blades. There is no world in which that is excusable. It's not just Mike that should be feeling the heat of this. Always educate yourself. Fist Labs, member Cripple Inc. What's up? Yo, why? I could have swore we made you. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. I could have swore we made you a mod. Let me do this. Come on. Come on, YouTube. Mod them up. Thought we already did this so that you can be dropping your link, homie. There, it says you're a mod again. Good to see you, Fist Labs. You know, for a while they weren't. For a while, they weren't. There's been a big, big turnaround at Kershaw over the last, since like 22? And they have really stepped up their game. And they impress me with a lot of what they do. I buy knives in different steels to see what works best for me. Got a Pirate Light with AR SF2. I like the AR SF2 quite a bit. I reviewed a couple of knives in AR SF2. I'm not the biggest fan of AR RPM9. So our AR PM9 to me is in the knives that it's in at certain price points. I'm good with it. Like sub $50 RPM9, I don't mind it. I have some knives with it. It's a decent budget steel. It's nothing special for a budget steel. It's decent. That SF2 or SF11, I should say. I like it. I like it a lot. There's a couple of knives in it that I want to get. Actually, I really like the pyrite that they did in it in my Carta. And I think it was a pyrite large that they did in my Carta and SF2. There's a couple of knives that they did in my Carta and SF2 that I really, really liked and want. So disappointed by Kunwu got 2, but we'll never buy another one. Wait, I thought Kunwu's heat treats were on point. Has he had some more come in that weren't? Never be able to sharpen that blade. Gonna be 51, still dumb as a rock. Yeah, see, that made it worthwhile to me. When the price got marked down to something that was palatable, it made the price worth it to me. And it is good Ultim. I like it. It's different than other Ultim I have. I'm satisfied. I dig this knife. I'm going to change out the springs to some heavier springs. I'm probably going to use the backup set that came with my Noxes, because these feel so good. I really like the feel of these springs. So I'll probably put the backup set in here to make it feel better. But other than that, I really dig this knife. And it's not bad. It's way better action than the bug out I had was. And it stays centered. It came centered and stayed centered. Like, I've had a very good experience with this knife. It hurts that peeps of this nature and this caliber would be preyed upon, and the humble and kind would be punished for being humble and kind. Yeah. Ultim Reaper. Man, it's fun. It is fun. The I gotta look up what they're calling it, but the Ramlock equivalent, like, is done well. It's very, very strong. The springs are breaking in and getting a little easier to use. Like, now I can use it like a shark lock, even though there's less to grab. Especially, whoops, I can use it to flip it out. But yeah, this texture, because it does take some pulling. It's a strong spring. You can feel that texture on the Ultim when you're doing it. This one is tough on the fingertips breaking in, but it's going to stay freaking insanely strong with the way that this lock is designed. I am impressed so far with just about everything about this knife. The ergos are fantastic, especially for being 9 3/4 inches. Like, it doesn't feel like I've got that big of a knife in hand because it's comfortable. Even when I'm not choked up here for control, like, which that's really comfortable. And that definitely makes us feel and balance like a smaller knife. But back here, whoops. If I hit the paper right, it helps. Like, I am enjoying this knife. And now, this is going to go to Boston Blade Works to get an edge put on it, because this is not something I can sharpen. Well, yeah, I don't have anything that I can get inside of that recurve good enough, and I don't trust my skills to do this blade. But I want to send this to Boston Blade Works because XW42 is supposed to be, similar to CTS XHP, which is one of his favorite steels. So Boston Blade Works, who sharpens a lot of knives, this is his favorite knife. The PM2 in CTS XHP is his favorite knife. And he has sharpened a lot of XHP. So I want to have him sharpen the XW42 and see what he thinks of it. And I also want to then be able to see how well that holds the edge once it has his edge. Now, it's never going to be as slicey as the PM2 because of geometry. This is a mid-level flat grind, and it's definitely not as thin behind the edge as a PM2. But I still want to see how this steel performs with his edge, man. I really like the way that they did the stone wash on the swedge and the flat grind, but then the flat itself has that horizontal satin. It looks very good. The edge is very even, and even with the recurve in the belly, your grind height stays even. So the edge should be rather similar throughout. I need to get us a good set of calipers instead of trying to use my calipers, but or my icrons. But I am up. I'm gonna throw a band-aid on this just so that it doesn't split, because I don't want YouTube to shut down the stream and it looks like it's thinking about it. I pulled out that Spyderco again, and it just looked at it, and it almost started to bleed again. That's how sharp that CTS XHP is. Let me throw this on right quick. I'm down to generic band-aids at the moment. Need to get some Mo. The emergency band-aids out. Should have grabbed a Buc-ee's. All right. There. Now YouTube ain't going to shut me down. But I'm so far impressed with the Reaper. Their Ultim. It's good quality Ultim. The milling and then micro milling is done well. It is contoured. Titanium. Very deep carry pocket clip. Goes in and out of the 511 tactical pants I'm wearing right now very easily. We have a wicked cool titanium back spacer that runs pretty much all the way up to your lock. T10 on the pivot, T8 on the rest of the hardware. Just double checking that. I think, yeah, that's what I checked. T10 pivots, T10 and T8 hardware. And then even look through the Ultim. Look at the design and the shape of the back spacer, how it swoops down here and then gets thin here and then back swoops back. That perfectly aligns, with the shape of the blade when it's in, and it's just wicked. They could have just done a back spacer like this and it would have fit. They didn't need to have that back spacer swoop back in like that. But because you can see it through the Ultim, they did it for effect. That's an awesome touch to me. And that right there is why I thought in their pictures that this was going to be smoked Ultim. But this darkness actually plays off the very light satin hardware around the lock system and pivot. I think really cool. Looks like a multi-toned Ultim when really it's all the same color. But I need to compare it against an amphibian. So far, like, for $140, and hopefully I'll have a discount code in the next couple days. But even if not, at $140, pretty dope. But I should hear back from them hopefully today with an affiliate link and code. I will post it and a short as soon as I have it. Yeah, I know you've been really diving the Microtech. What's up, Mike John? Good to see you. QSP makes some really nice knives. I only have a couple at the moment, but I've reviewed a bunch. And they also do really good OEM work. Yes, that's one of the reasons I love Ultim. Will Moon. Welcome, homie. I don't know that I've seen you in here before. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ultim. That's why my first collaboration, the Farrah Monster Glideman DBD edition. Whoop, wrong pocket. DBD edition. My first collab had to be an Ultim. The Cripple Crew knew that. It was always going to be Ultim. There's my logo right there through the Ultim. That's so dope to me. Guys, you don't know what your support has meant to me. Truly, truly. The fact that I was able to get my first collab out in a year and a half of having the channel it blows my mind. And then you guys have really supported this, but I am here to tell you there's only 10 left of the satin variants. Only 10 left. If you like the satin, these are only $99 after code DVD. And they're almost gone. Only 10 of these left. But yes, that's one of my favorite things about Ultim is the translucent nature. I love being able to see the inner workings of the knives. Yeah, Basti does some fantastic work as well. Selling your soul for rock and roll. Yeah, there's no excuse for lying and being deceptive. Yes, yeah, no, so I haven't touched upon that too much. What Will is asking is, what do I make of the essay allegations over there? Yes, that is absolutely worse than fraud. I know that there are allegations. I haven't read them myself. I'm not going to touch upon them because I don't know enough about that. So that's the only reason why I'm not calling anybody a predator or anything like that. It's not that I make light of those allegations. It's that I don't know enough about it. And that's something that I'm not going to put airtime into and I want to put zero false information out. This isn't a channel. None of this is about drama. This is about getting to the truth so that we know how to hold people accountable and how to, if you're going to spend money, spend it without being defrauded. That those other allegations, while horrible, I can't speak on. But fraud, I can absolutely speak to because they've admitted it. They've admitted it. Worked at a shop for 5 hours till they tried to talk me to compromising my morals. Took the toolbox, found another place. Yes, you were looking for a job when you found that one. Okay. Is that your lunch? Love you, baby. Yeah. Trying to get away with something. Well, that's so, yeah, I don't care if you're modding the chat, dude. It's just so you have the ability to drop the links. Hell yeah. You know, I will collab. Shoot, I don't remember what website it was. I'm sure I can find it. Kelly was the one that originally sent me the link. If Kelly's still here, is there any chance you remember what the retailer was that this Super Freak came from? Just so I can see if there's any left. It is a cool ass knife. Appreciate you. Make sure you stab that like button. Man, I gotta get caught up. Ronald F. and Dobbins, member of Cripple Crow Inc. Today's been kind of a rant stream, and so I keep getting behind on the chat. Love to see you, brother. Hope you're having a fantastic day. On the edge, EDC, also member of Cripple Crow Inc. Good to see you, homie. Yeah, it really is a sexy blade. On the Reaper, the thumb studs work every time very well. very easy to get with my thumb. Whoop, I said every time. And then I failed it by riding the button. Yeah, with the thumb, I wish for the thumb, I wish it was a bit higher. Oh, you know what? I just noticed this little notch right here at where that cutout is. Let's try that. Nah, it's better to go from the bottom of the button or the stud. So I do wish that they were up here for the thumb. They're a little low for the thumb, especially where this cutout is. I guess if you went, what if you go out with it from that cutout? Just go up. No, you got to go from below it. Now, again, this cutout is a little off. I know it's perfect for ergos. But I think pushing this back a little bit to where you're getting it from this groove would improve it a little, because I grab it from the bottom of it here down below that screw. Now with the reverse flick, it's easy. It's money. Because if you do give it enough power to break that detent, it's a stout detent. With this spring tension and the notch and the tang and the blade that it sits in, it has a stout detent. So once you break it, though, it does want to fly out. But if they were moved this way a bit, they would make them a little easier to use, I think. But like you see, the reverse flick is easy. The Ultim, yeah, they also have it in G10. And seeing what they offer on their website, it wouldn't be surprising to me if a titanium version came out at some point. But the Ultim version, it looks the best by far. And again, this is a chance to experience some well done Ultim. Now, it doesn't feel as quite as good in the hand as this like really high polish on the DBD Glideman, but it's got a lot of grip to it. A lot of grip. Enough so that like it's rough on my pinky unless I make sure my pinky's on the pocket clip. It's rough on my pinky when I pull this back if my pinky's on the Ultim. But I really dig it. I think it's comfortable. It's big. But for its size, it's very easy to use and control or to have reach with. Like it could pull a lot of different duties with that blade shape. And I think for $139, and if we get a discount code, even a little less, I think that's a pretty fair deal. They do make some sick knives. We're going to have to get some others. Smoked Ultim's still the favorite. Yeah, I thought at first it was going to be. Take it easy, Leon. Have a killer day. I'm back behind on the chat trying to get caught up. You could polish it. So this is a high polish Ultim right here. The Ultim that we did on my collab. I have 27 Ultim knives, Will Moon, in my collection. And Ultim drivers, Ultim fidgets. Ultim is my favorite material. I was very, very specific on what I wanted. And we went with a very high polished, started with a high quality of Ultim, by the way. And then went with a very high polished finish on a milled and then micro milled scale. Every corner rounded off so that it would be very smooth and comfortable in the hand. But this is what a high polished Ultim looks like. And yes, it is more transparent. Here it is with the DLC, which has PVD coated liners. I have a couple of knives with high polished Ultim. I can grab real quick. It definitely takes more time to do it this way. So a lot of companies don't go, they do the more matte finish, which still looks great. But so here's a QSP with a high polish. Very, very transparent. This, my favorite button lock, plunge lock button lock. S90V hollow grind. This thing is surgical. And the best button lock detent I have felt. Plunge lock detent. We also have high polish Ultim from Wixco. And as you can see, it makes it very easy to see your Omega springs in action. This has PVD coated liners, so it has very dark liners underneath. But you can still, I need to clean. It's got some oil underneath it. But these are very high polished. This Wixco is the budget arm of Monster. So it was Wixco and Monster that I was working with on my collab. That's why I knew they could get the Ultim the way I wanted it. And then kind of a tweener between the polished and the matte. This is a matte for sure, but it's one of the lightest I have seen. Without that polish, it's definitely not quite as transparent. But this is for the matte finish, the lightest I could pull. This is the Microjet from Tempest Knives, a one-off special, Kelly Mishmash special. This had blackout blade and hardware, and she took the satin off of a carbon fiber and all of the satin hardware and did a blade hardware swap. So she's got a blackout carbon fiber and made the satin Ultim. And now I have it. I really like this one. Robert Bates. Yep, I know a lot of people say that Ultim is one of the most divisive scale materials in the knife community, period. It's a love it or hate it material. And even people that have tried it, oftentimes if you get cheap Ultim, it feels like crap. So then you really don't like the look or the feel. But there are a lot of converts as well. People that didn't like Ultim, that certain Ultim knives have converted. I do know that I've had a few people tell me they were Ultim haters until they got the DBD Glideman. More than one, including somebody that's in this chat right now. But yeah, no, I get it. There's a lot of people that hate it. I'm not surprised, homie. So Rachel keeps talking about smoked Ultim, which is amazing looking, but I only have one knife in. Blade HQ did an exclusive run of Shark Cubs, Dimco Shark Cubs in smoked Ultim, this like root beer color. And I have the smooth clip point. Whoops. I need to get the shark foot and slicer blades with smoked Ultim. They're discontinued, but they're out there, and I want at least one of them to have the textured Ultim. Boz Beast in here, he has one of the ones that I'm looking for. I'm not trying to get at his. I'm just saying he has one of the shark foot textured Ultim that I'll look for the picture in a moment. But yeah, smoked Ultim I love smoked Ultim. And just trying to get caught up. It's not just an Ultim channel. It's just I happen to have a few Ultim knives out right now because we were talking about the Ultim Reaper, and because I was saying that there's only 10 left in satin of my collab. There's only 10 of these left. $99 after code DBD, 154 cm, titanium backspace, a reversible pocket clip. But like, no, this is not just an Ultim channel. These are aluminum scales on my Spyderco PM2 warning. My second favorite material is micarta. I love micarta, but titanium has really grown on me. Really grown on me. When I started this channel, I didn't like titanium at all. I have 27 Ultim knives right now, and I think it was right. I was around 3 dozen titanium knives. So titanium has started to far outpace Ultim in my collection, but why they didn't make Ultim? So it doesn't take dye because it's not porous. You can't dye this Ultim, but companies are starting to produce red and green. There is one Kershaw model out that has some green Ultim in it, just a little bit, but it has green Ultim. And they have red coming soon. Exactly. I cannot give an opinion on that topic until I know more. Yeah, the black Ultim, I'm not a big fan of at all. Black Ultim to me is kind of a waste. To me, because there's no opacity in black Ultim. While you still get the lightweight, you still get the, non-porous aspect, you still get the high heat resistance. There's still a lot of that goes along with Ultim, but you lose any of the cool factor. And if not done right, just like regular Ultim, it'll feel like cheap plastic. So, but even more so, because you can't see through it, it just feels like cheap plastic. It has to be done very well for black Ultim to be worth it. Yeah, I am the top Ultim salesman. It's because I love it that much, and it's infectious. Jim Miller member, Cripple Growing, what it do? Yeah, it has a lot of Max Ace look to me. But if you see it side by side with an amphibian, you can tell that's absolutely what it was drawn from. And that was my first thought when I got it in hand. But I need somebody's amphibian to review. I can't afford to just buy one to compare it. Gold Sniping Farmer, member Cripple Crow Inc. What it do? Dropping them badass emojis. Taking the lunch break? Hell yeah. Okay, we'll take a look at some carries in just a moment. With drilling on the liners underneath. That would look dope. But dope. Flicking the DBD Glideman with the DLC. Got a 420 holla, a 420 stream. Hell yeah. You know, we were doing that pregame before our stream. CC was able to move a couple of them. Still got a couple going. Yay. This community is amazing. Papa Jiggly. You got a tri-stash and ultimate, love it. See, the pistache is the main tri-stash that I want. Yeah, you've got to get good ultim. You've got to get good ultim. Again, I hate being my own fluffer, but if you've handled the DBD Glideman, you know why I say this is going to, or this could make you an ultim fan because of the way it feels in hand. And you get all the cool other properties of ultim. But if you get the right ultim, it feels amazing. The middle knife, this one, this is the Meteor Knives Reaper. These come in at $139 with that wicked contoured milled and micro milled ultim, an XW42 steel blade, titanium thumb studs, pocket clip, and backspacer, and this wicked, I gotta see what they name it, Ramlock-ish. I'm gonna pull it up. See what they call it. Their take on a Ramlock. But Meteor Knives Reaper. I'm pulling it up now so I can drop a link. They sell it in G10 as well for $10 less. But, you know, they have like an orange brown, a white, a Tiffany blue, and a black. See, oh, that's right. This is in not English. This is in Chinese. Let me share the screen. Yeah, 6 in stock right now. They're $139. 248 millimeters long with a 110 millimeter blade, 138 millimeter handle. I think 192 grams, maybe. Let's see what 192 grams is. 6.7 ounces. It might be that heavy. It doesn't feel that heavy, but it could be. With this length, it doesn't feel it because it's 9 3/4 inches. So with a 4 1/4 inch blade and a 5 1/2 inch handle length, you're over 1/2 inch thick. Well over 1/2 inch thick at the widest point. And very comfortable. I haven't had it long term, but I like it so far. Oh, it wasn't even showing the picture on it, was it? There we go. I was looking, I was doing a conversion on another screen. Hated Ultim with all my heart. Now I dig it a lot. Ha ha ha. I knew the Glideman DBD would convert you, damn it. Smoked Ultim. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Just not green. Yeah, you love OD green. I know it, brother. I know it. And here one more again on that smoked. That root beer color is so cool, and still being able to see through it. I like that a lot. I want more of this. I'm trying to find a knife company that I can work with, that or get one of the companies I work with to find a good source of this, because I want to put this on a knife. I tried to find it for the DBD Glideman, even though I'm glad I didn't, because my first Glideman should have always been this Ultim because of how much of an Ultim fanatic I am. But I am still on the hunt for a good supply of it for one of my upcoming collabs. By the way, before we get to the Instagram carry, I'm glad you love yours, homie. Why are you still not a mod? Like, I went over and did it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it for Gold Sniping Farmers so you can drop your channel. It says you're added. And I'm going to add Fist Labs again. So you can drop your links. Okay, it says you were added. I'm going to walk and let the Wiggles in. We can talk while I walk. But when I get back, we'll look at Instagram carries. But I have fantastic news, Cripple Crow. DBD and Mrs. Deadly have worked out a deal. And we will be working for Pharaoh Monster Knives on Friday and Saturday of Blade Show Atlanta. So you can catch us at the Pharaoh Monster Knives booth Friday and Saturday. And I am so freaking stoked. Crew, because of your support, I was able to work out a deal. I'm not going to go into it, but for them to sponsor our trip to Blade Show. And that's massive for me. Massive for me. Not anything I would expect to happen this soon in the channel. And again, it's because of all your support. So Mrs. Deadly and I will be working for Pharaoh Monster Knives for day 1 and 2 of Blade Show Atlanta. And I can't wait. Mix dropping those links too. Appreciate you, homie. Yeah, the King Snake. Yep. King Snake, Amphibian. 420 Bash. I've gone live on 420 before with Mr. Donnie B. That's the right person to go live with 420 on. Yeah, unfortunately, they've been discontinued for over a year, and they are very difficult to find. Again, it comes with, they made them with 3 different blade shapes: the clip point, the shark foot, and the slicer blade. And they had this smooth, and they had the textured Ultim that I'll show you from Boz Beast's collection. But they are gone. Later, be shady. Have a killer day, my friend Dan Stan. What it do, my man? You in that vertical link? You can check out the pinned link in the vertical stream, and you can bounce over to the horizontal where everybody be chilling. Thank you, Ron. I'm so excited. So is Mrs. Deadly. This is a Mackie. And it comes with steel balls or Ultim balls. And this thing will spin. I really dig this. I wouldn't have paid for this. I can't find it in myself to drop 100 or 100 plus on a fidget. On a knife all day long, but not on a fidget. But I was gifted this by Lefty EDC. And I freaking love it. Like it just keeps spinning, especially if you keep it level. Like it's a fantastic spinner. This slider fidget I really like, and I actually carry this as part of my EDC. Not the fidget as much. When I'm traveling, I like to have this with me. But this one is a mechanical fidget. A mechanical slider, no magnets in it. It doesn't, I mean, this doesn't have magnets either. But for me, when I'm messing with my hands, this is more satisfying. And these are like $30 or less after my discount code from Waynerson EDC. I like that because there's no magnets to this one. You know, some sliders have magnets, and then you can do the ladder trick and stuff, but they will stick to other parts of your EDC. This doesn't stick to anything in my pockets. It's just, this is a fidget. The first fidget that became a part of my daily carry. Because when I'm in place and I'm getting annoyed and it's probably somewhere that I shouldn't just be standing there doing this constantly to get rid of my annoyment, I can pop this out instead and keep from not wanting to strangle people, but keep from actually doing it. Chris Spanks, what's up? This will be our first Blade Show Atlanta. We've been to, this is my only fidget spinner. It's my only fidget spinner because I know they make some dope ones, but I'm not willing to spend money for them. I spend money on knives. But I really, really like this one. And I wouldn't mind having some other with cool materials in the collection. It's just something that I won't spend the money on. Thank you, Rolf. Hey, Will Moon, welcome to the Cripple Crew. We go live 3 times a week, and I drop content all the time. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, homie. You know what I have found out? Again, I didn't pay for either of these, but this, when Mrs. Deadly gets me to go to the store with her, and I start getting really annoyed by how many freaking people there are and how rude they are and all of that, this can help a little bit. That's one of those places that, you know, they frown a little bit if you're just walking around doing that everywhere. They get a little butthurt. True that. True that. And, you know, it's up to us, it seems, to be more diligent in making sure that knife companies are telling the truth. Yeah, I want a 15V. Yeah, any spider go. Pardon me. Robert Bates, welcome to the Cripple Crow. Glad to have you here. Whether you crippled or not, you welcome. We all a little disabled, but definitely in some way. Robert Bates, it's the Cripple Crew. Because I am DBD, disabled but deadly. Pardon me. I rock a knife and a cane, but we welcome gimps of all sorts and varieties. Even if you just messed up in the head, right? You fit in here. Yo, Matt, I would love to check that out. I would really appreciate that. Get those badass emojis. Love to see it. Love to see it. So I didn't see, I might have missed it because I was going back and forth between reading statements and such. Yeah, we have more titanium in our body than in our gear. Yeah, I had titanium in my body well before I started carrying titanium knives. I was still carrying cheap knives when I got my titanium. And I don't mean budget knives, I mean cheap knives. There were knives that I might have spent $50 to $100 for, but they weren't good knives. Smith & Wesson Tacticals you know, there was a bunch of the gun makers that had cheap frame lock, black frame lock tactical knife lines. And I had a whole bunch of them. But I well before I had titanium EDC, I had titanium in me. I've even I have broken titanium in me. I broke my neck after getting it fused and broke 2 of the titanium screws. And the titanium screws are still in my C7. All right, we are going to see. I want a Yojimbo so bad. I'd rather have a Jimbo than a Jumbo personally, more my size. I would love a micro Jimbo as well, but y'all know me. I'm horny for warnies. I want the Spider Cocainus as well. I want all the warnies. And the Jimbo series looks so good to me. That in a 15V, oh my, but really any Jimbo would make me happy. Arthritis or something. Could. You know, as we get older, we get all kinds of stuff that happen. But I can tell you that there is a knife content creator and knife designer, knife company owner who got trigger finger from middle finger flicking and actually got surgery, I believe, on it. Radio Istanbul. So we are going to look at the cripple carries. Time to pop up your pockets. We're way behind on this, folks. Way behind on this. And we can start off with Ed Durbin, where the micro gimbals look sick. Where you're going to get some of the most professional photography in the world. Ed Durbin. That's a sick shot of the Civivi Guile. You see that Edyard on that. Of course. We got the Jake with a Montana Knife Company redacted, Wilder Wallet, tactile turn bolt back then, Flippo Brass with butane, Awesome Hanks, Casio G-Shock, Olight i3TOS, Awesome Hanks Challenge Coin, Lynch Northwest Pry, and a Spyderco Manix 2 with AWT scales. Ooh. For that. Awesome carries. Dan Stan. Oh. Miranda Keith. Maybe. Miranda Keith's Trek Kit. Look at that badass Guardians of the Blade XC t-shirt with the Brother Blade Walker chip. You got the Zach Stuff chip. And DBD chip next to her DBD Glideman. I love to see that, folks. It always makes me so excited when I see my knife in your pictures. We got a Kaiser Harpoon. We got a Voss D Raccoon. We got a Para 3 and a Manix 2 that are both built out. Sick tie pry. But look at that Winter Blade. Is that the X Blade? X Factor X Blade? X Blade, right? That's got that wicked Bally Lock thingy. That's such a trippy knife. And I can't believe I have a Winter Blade on the way. dope watch, and we got the Olight Arkfeld. Let's see. We got Kane F and Miranda. His new favorite. Ooh, look at that beautiful Neutron 2 with lizard skin tie. That looks so sexy. Jim Miller with the Cold Steel FM1. The Penguin with the frag tie. Oh, me so fixie. Oh, me so horny for that horny. We got a baton, a wicked tie pry, and the Viperade pouch with the T-Kel mat. Be less dumb. Good advice for us all. Boz freaking Beast. Here is that smoked Ultim shark foot with the textured smoked Ultim. Look at that next to the AD22 full tie. Oh, my pants are tight right now. My pants are tight. Damn. One Moon with that null, that axial, and a nice little knot tool. Like, do not get in my face. And that beautiful IC. You know, I love when I see y'all's pupper pictures. Oh, she's such a pretty puppy. I love that face. I love her colors. What we got? Looks like we are caught up on the cripple carries. Y'all always have the best pockets. If you want to share your cripple carries or your cripple critters, hit me up on Instagram. Love it. You know I love the cripple critter pictures. Rock Jumper in VG10. Yes. Yeah, that isn't that smoked Ultim with the texture so dope. Yeah, right. Hey, you're a mod now. $15V PM2 lightweight is a must for you. Ooh. Yeah, the Guardians of the Bladed Sea shirts were amazing. They are no longer for sale, but just know the next time the Guardians assemble, they will be available again, but they will be a different logo on front. This time the Guardians assembled for Blade Walker. Next time the Guardians will assemble for somebody else, and there will be a different Guardians of the Bladed Sea shirt available. Oh, I bet the acoustics are insane. A shark lock and all that titanium. Oh, and then you got that beautiful Warney blade. I prefer, so I run my live stream, my StreamYard is what I do all my lives through, is StreamYard. And I run that in Chrome because it runs best in Chrome. And I end up sharing a lot of the links. That way I pull up links in Chrome and share them that way. It's just smoother. When I'm actually doing my own research and stuff or looking online, I use DuckDuckGo. But for streaming, I hate Microsoft Edge with a passion. It's the slowest, jankiest. It's going to jack up streams the most. Chrome, StreamYard runs best in Chrome, and it shares links best from Chrome. Chris Spanks has been asking over and over again, and I don't know the answer to the question. Did they only do? They did a G10 Para 3, right? With the 15V. It wasn't just the lightweight, right? They had a brown G10 Para 3, didn't they? I'm gonna look it up. Para 3. 15V. Yes, Brown G10. They did it. I just, yeah. Yeah, they offered it in the regular and the lightweight. I thought so. So there, the answer to your question, yes, they did. Let's see if, let's see. I'm gonna see if there's any 15B in stock on Blade HQ. Let's share this screen real quick as we do this. Yeah. So they've that. I want that knife so bad. I want paramilitary 2 Tonto is a grail for me to go with my Warney. But you can get the micro Jimbo still. 2.25. Ouch. You can still get the 15V and the Lil Native. Oh, that'd be so good too. I have a Lil Native though, so I'd rather have the micro Jimbo. The backlock Lil Native. I just searched 15V. That looks like that's what's in stock. Does anybody have the Para 3 not lightweight in stock? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I gotta check the dog. You know it. We got more pictures to check. Starting off with Rolf Robertson. And the T-Cal accomplice and a couple of bear ops. Gonna be interesting to see if bear ops. I don't think that they're bringing Chinese in. Oh, look at the revolve. Look at the revolve. Beautiful triple B. 15V. Para 3. Oh. Oh. With a fresh edge. Ah, Matt, you sent them. You used Instagram photos. I can only open those on my phone. You have to take a regular picture and then drop it in the DM for me to be able to share it. I can look at that later, but I can't show it on the computer, and my phone is busy. Just looking. Making sure I didn't miss anything while I was sharing the screen. Tristan, what's up, homie? Projectiles are sharp. Member Cripple Crew Wink. I see you popping in that vert first to stab the like button. I appreciate you. You know, the wiggly one is always by my side when I'm doing these lives. Saint got too warm for his bed, so he's out on the hardwood by the fan. Man, don't look at the mess. Don't mind the mess. My office is also storage. But there's Saint. There's the wiggly one. If I try to get her face, she will act all abused, I bet. Ah, stop flipping the camera. There you go. Here's the wiggly one. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Yes, you're such a good girl. You are. Daddy's good girl. Yeah. Wiggle butt. I love you. That's my wiggle butt right there. Saint's over there snoring his booty off. Pretty girl. Yeah, you hate the camera. I know, you hate the camera. I'll take it off you now. Yes, my office is a mess. There we go, we're back. You know I gotta show the wiggly one. Yeah, she's my baby. Well, the big bed is his bed. The big bed is his bed. And he still has to curl on it because he's massive. That bed that she's on, she can tuck into, but right now she's just on top of it with a blankie on her. She's always covered in some way. She's a pit bull. Only the G10 handles on one model. Yeah, you know, I think we're gonna find out a lot, and it's good. We're gonna find out some of these companies have been absolutely truthful, and that's gonna be awesome to find out. We're also gonna find out more companies that have lied to us. I have a feeling. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, she's my baby. He's my stoner buddy. She's my baby. She's definitely a daddy's girl. And definitely one of the best dogs and absolutely the most attitude I've ever had in a dog. She's so awesome. Appreciate you, Ron Dobbin. Stab that thumbs up if you haven't already, folks. And if you're looking at a vertical screen right now and you're only seeing so much of the screen, click the pinned link. That'll take you to the horizontal stream where you can see the whole mat, but more importantly, where you can kick it with the rest of the crew. Yes, and that comes from us. He is working to get more knives from manufacturers. But the thing that can help him the most right now and help every one of us is to send some of your knives in. If you're sending one knife in, it's $10 and you pay the shipping both ways. If you're sending multiple knives in, he'll drop that per blade cost way down and you just pay the shipping too. So we can all help by sending more in. Got a Huskamo to go with the Pomsky puppy. yeah, I had to break my Husky of being a digger and a fence jumper in the beginning. Good to see you, Gabe Harlan. I want to see your puppies. I want to see the puppies. Send me the pics. Bullies are my favorite. Nuts. Ouch. $300 for a pair of 3. Love you, Rolf. Have a killer day. Yeah, bullies are my favorite breeds. This is my second American pit bull. And she's actually a runt. She's only 50 pounds, but she doesn't know it because she completely dominates the 150-pound husky. I don't know how you uploaded, how you sent it, but there's 2 ways to send them, and one of them only allows it to be shown in the app. Not to name names, but I think a famous Italian brand is pulling some steel tricks too, because I know my M390 and 20CV, but their steel acts strange. Tristan says he can't say hi to everybody because he's at work right now. Still loves y'all. Good to see you, brother. That's not like over retail. It's just a high price. I mean, like, but all the 15B Spydercos are more expensive than their counterparts because one, you're paying for the triple B heat treatment, and we are going to share Taylor's site. All their triple B heat treated stuff is coming in right. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job. You are paying more for that, but you're also paying for the fact that this is the only 15B. Like it can't be made again. No, but now with Crucible gone, nobody has ovens hot enough. Nobody has a forge hot enough to heat treat 15V now that Crucible is gone. So no more 15V after these spider goes. And you're paying for that. You're paying for the Sean Brown heat treatment. Our Big Brown Bear heat treatment. Sean Brown. Heat treatment. And so they are more. I don't think 287 is over retail on a 15V Para 3. It's just expensive. I'm going to pull up the steel hardness that. Oh, Matt, I got it. Got to share some picture first. Look at that buffer. What cool colors. That's an awesome shot too. But what cool colors. I really dig the coloring on this buffer. Oh, it's so pretty. German short hair. Yeah. I figured, homie, yeah, we just put it on the live. But I figured that's who you was talking about. That worked. See, I want to get that is my top grail Para 3. After getting, I didn't think that I was gonna like the Para 3 as much as I do. After getting the lightweight salt, I really love the Para 3 size. This I like it so much more than I thought. I like it enough that I want to get the aim front scales, the aluminum scales that add a second washer and make this smoother. But I really love the Para 3 size. And so the fifth, I want to get a full G10 Para 3. And the 15V would be the tops on my list. There's several I would love to get, but that would be the top. But I do want to get. I don't want one in MagnaCut because I already have a lightweight in MagnaCut. But I do want to get a Para 3 in the collection. Yes, I don't know that this is going to blow over quite as quickly. I think that with more people finding ways to test, they're going to be testing more steel composition than they have in years. And we are going to find some more of the charlatans. Now, when I want to, if you don't have the Steel Hardness Lab bookmark, I'm going to show you how you get to it. From Taylor Hardness, you can go and click his links. And the Hardness website is right here. We're going to share that screen now. And it says he's added 8 knives since my last visit. Let's see what all the 8 new ones were. A Poi Kilo in M398 coming in at 62. Nice. Bostede Psyop LMAX 60.4. You know, that's in the acceptable range for LMAX. We said this earlier on the stream. 60 to 62 is where you need to be. 61 to 62 get you a little more edge retention, but this is going to get you the max toughness for LMAX, and you're still going to get good edge retention because of this geometry. So I'm good with that number, especially at the price we're paying for these. The Olaten's Lemon Shark 10 CR at 60. That's I'm cool with that. Those look like decent knives for a budget brand, a budget knife. This bothers me. And this was a coated blade, but S90 or S90B at 59.5 is not good. I think because I got to put a box together for Taylor. I think, but that means I got to take all the knives apart. This is a blade that might have to go to him. This is QSP's S90B, but not coated. I want to see the difference in this versus the coated version. Beckerton Overlord Dinosaur and M390. That's disappointing for a knife that it sounds like you're probably paying a bunch for. I'm not familiar with that knife at all. Tactus Strike. We have one of those. Those come in just under $60 with my discount code. I've got one. Right. Yeah. And that's, whoops, that's probably the low range of optimal for 14C, but 14C isn't a high HRC steel. This isn't a steel that you're looking for over 60 in. 58 to 60, and this is coming in almost at 59. That's acceptable. Cricut Spew and 5CR and a Benchmade clone. It's a clone. It's a clone in unknown steel. Let's hide this. But I love that we can go to the dashboard and get all of this information. Or we can go to database and let's say we want to look at the company that is doing it the absolute best, Spyderco. And from 70 on the Rex 121 and almost that on the Maximet. Mule Team and Z-Max, 69.3. Rex 76, 68.5. Rex 76, 68.2. Rex 45, 67. Rex T15. Man, look at these. And then 15V, 66, 66, 66, 66, 66. 657. Okay. 65.6, 65.6. I mean, 65 to 66 on 15V is awesome. Magnamax. Like Spyderco is the brand doing it the best. For a large brand, they're doing it the best. And I'll tell you the one that people should really be throwing a fit about is Strider. Because these are $700 plus knives. I mean, you're dropping a fat chunk of money. We get S30V all the way down to 55, up to 60. Like, Magna Cut, this is horrible. A range of 59.2 to 61.6. That's horrible. PD1, 58.7. Like, these are very disappointing numbers for Magna Cut and S30V on $700, $800, $900 knives. Like, this website is only going to get better the more knives we can send him. And this will help keep companies honest, because this is the kind of stuff that worries me. Not a knife coming in, say, 1 point, maybe 1.5 lower than what you would hope for, even a couple of points lower than you would hope for, but you still love the knife, so it's cool. This kind of a range. See, they're 20 CV, they're getting fine. They're all drilling the same number. That's cool. but 3 banters from 55 to 58.9 on S35. That is not acceptable. Just awesome information to look at if you want to spend some time really deep diving a crazy rabbit hole. And all we can do, yes, he's been treating a lot. Oh, whoops. He's been treating a lot of 15B. Scrolling up though, seeing what I missed. Yeah, that one's wild. That's a crazy outlier. Yeah, I'll link it right now. Let me go back to the homepage. Control C. Steel hardness. Lab. Control boom. There you go. Ooh, we're gonna take a look at that. Yeah, he's big on Reddit, but I don't do anything on Reddit. So you can find him on Reddit is where he posts his main posts have been. But he is starting to expand what he does on Instagram and YouTube. But I don't even have a Reddit account. I just don't mess with it. Pair 3 Maximet. Yeah, Maximet is a steel I have 0 experience with. 6 15Vs. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I probably will change it, but when I popped up the link, that's how it popped up. Yeah, I do want to see that as well. He has not reviewed TCal yet, to my knowledge. Let me double check. This is no, not yet. See, the nice thing is, we're going to share this one more time. So I want to show how easy it is to interact with this. Then we got some more Instagram to catch up on. But so you can, when you come in, you pop into the dashboard. Shows you how many brands, steel types, the average, the max, and the lowest. How many since your last visit. Mark is seen. Achievement badges, the hardest, the softest, overachievers, ProTech, they are killing it on their heat treat. Brand with the highest minimum, soft tested, underachiever, Chavez. I 100% agree with that. Steel Champion 15V. Most tested, Spyderco 83. Most unpredictable steel, CPM 10V, because it's all over the place. The underdog, Ozark Trail, because their heat treat sucks. Most steel types tested, 34 different steels from Spyderco. All awesome information. You can go to the database though, and you can pick whatever brand you want to look at, or you can say, I want to look at 15V. Well, I think that's only going to be Spyderco, isn't it? But let's just say you wanted to see any steel, but I wanted to click 15V. Is there anybody but Spyderco? No. Let's do 3V. 3V. We have 5 different brands here, and you can see where each company's 3V came in at. Chavez, all of their steels are like the lowest in the bunch. Let's go to Udenholm Elmax. Chavez, again, coming in low. We can go back to all steels. Let's just look at Chavez. How many is he up to tested now? 4. And every one of those is low. But we can go to ProTech and drilling it. They've only tested magnet cut so far from ProTech, but high 63s to high 65s, gravy. Give it to me all day long. Or, you can look at different ranges, but it makes it very cool and very easy to interact with. Like, you can see, you would expect Civivi's D2 to be good. It is. It's where you want it. Let's scroll down. You would expect Ozark Trail to have a very wide HRC range because of crappy heat treat. They do. Big surprise. Now, I would like to see that a little higher. But awesome, awesome site. Check out what Taylor is doing. And make sure you sub to him on Instagram. Let's get him some followers. I love Chavez too. And, that's why I said I do wish this was coming in over 60 at least on the LMAX. Not sub 59. But I still like the knife. I'm not going to let it destroy my enjoyment of a knife I already liked. Like this behind the edge, and this one does have a little bit of a custom edge on it, I think. Yeah, it does. But still, this gets sharp, thin enough behind the edge that it's going to stay slicey for a while. It should hold its edge for a decent time, and it's going to be tough as nails. So I'm not going to let it make me enjoy this knife any less. Now, I hope that with this information coming out, this causes him to go ahead and pay for the better Riyadh heat treatment for the higher range of HRC. But I'm not going to let it make me not like this anymore. Well, you talk about you're surprised this site wasn't up a long time ago. Man, you have to have very expensive equipment to get this right. And actually, there's way more hinder on here than I expected. I'll share this because it does. Yes, this site is going to make a difference. Dale, Sugar Free Lane, member Cripple Crew Inc. What's up? Good to see you. Got a Chavez in the pocket now. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of any Chavez. That's the show. That's the show. And I'm still going to add to my Chavez collection because I only have 2 right now. And I still want more. I especially want some Sanger Warnies, but I still want a red label, a red box Rendition 229. I would love to have a red box, a blue label, and a budget rendition. I want to shop at your gas station. Man, that sucks, man. I hope you feel better soon. Lone Star Dow Boy, Carry of the Day, Cold Steel, Code Boon, and Code Forklift Point. Yay, yay, yay. 229 Liberation Tonto with thumb studs. Oh. Yeah, if you don't, you know where it's going on me. If you don't, we will figure it out. I think I got a couple more Instagram pictures. Let me double check that. We do. We got On the Edge EDC with his fall Mannix 2s. This is a nice Mannix collection. Look at that. We got the triple B 15V lightweight. We got the Rex 45 lightweight. We got the Salt lightweight. And then Magna Cut, so another salt, but with OG gun stock scales. I like it. I like it a lot with those OG gun stock scales. I'm gonna put scales on my lightweight at some point. Let me pull mine out. My only Mannix right now is the Blade HQ exclusive mint green with M4 steel. But this will get scales and a Lynch Northwest at some point. Beautiful Mannix collection. Let's see. Oh, Robert Jones gonna give me. I busted a zipper, dude. You know that Tonto up top, blasting my pants away. Talk about Grail for me, right there. And then he's got that beautiful decal. He's got the ABW slip with the guns, or the frag pattern. Dig it. You know, I love these acoustics. This ABW is in my pocket all the time. Mad Yakko Hank and a Lynch Northwest Pry. Awesome pockets, brother. Awesome pockets. Love it. Yeah, I need to get, I think OG is what I'm going to end up going with. Get a full-time Mannix 2 build. Nice. Because I do love the OG scales that I got for my 80-20.5. It's my favorite 80-20.5 in my collection. Out of the four, this one is my favorite with the OG aluminum scales and the 3V Tonto. But after feeling these, I love them. I would absolutely like to put a set on here. And the gun stock is one of the ones I was looking at because I like the way that looks. But OG is that's what's gonna end up going on here most likely. Because this is one of my favorite knives, period. End of story. In my collection or any that I've handled. I love the way this feels. These scales feel amazing on the 80-20.5. Like, perfect. And sound great. But yeah, that ABW Slippy, this is on me every single day. Mrs. Deadly got me this towards the end of February, or in the middle of February when they had that drop. She got me this as an early present for our 25th, and I've carried it every single day since in my Dogwood Creek leather slip that's been lasered by Bluminati. This carries with me every single day. Love this. Take it easy, Ron Dobbins. Love you, brother. Have a killer week. Yeah, some with garlic toast. Yeah. Definitely soup. I love the way these sound. It's full tie with the full liners, so it's heavy. I love that. Such a beautiful knife. But yeah, I need more skull clips in the collection. Faux show. I never saw earlier in the chat. We got 50 people in here right now. If there's anybody in this stream who has a Microtech amphibian that they would be willing to let me review next to this Meteor, let me know. I would love to check out an amphibian. And when I send it back to you, I will send the Reaper so that you can check it out. And Microtech Amphibian was the first thing I felt when I saw it. Max Ace King Snake was another one, but especially with this lock, I really want to compare it to an amphibian. But I'm not going to buy an amphibian just to compare it to, because if I was buying a Microtech, I would buy an MSI, a mini MSI, or a Stitch. Yeah, no, amphibian's the first thing I saw when I saw it. And I'm going to show you a picture of one next to an amphibian. Let me find it real quick. I'm going to pull it up. Give me a moment. Come on, Instagram. You're thinking. There we go. Scrolling. Where is it? It was yesterday. Scrolling. Still freaking scrolling. Oh, gotta be getting close to it. There it is. So here is the G10 Reaper next to an amphibian. Are they the same? No. But you can tell it's heavily inspired by. Heavily inspired by the amphibian. But I gotta get hands on with amphibian, with an amphibian, so that I can personally compare the two. But I don't have a few $100 to drop on this right now. What? DLC coded Rex 121 PM2. Like, so when you say clip point, wait, that's not the PM2 I meant to grab. When you're saying clip point, do you mean not the leaf blade? Like a different blade shape than this? So another one I'm going to have? It is the Meteor Knives Reaper. I didn't delete your comment. If it wasn't in your pocket, you would send it. Gotcha. You have an amphibian clone? No, I want the real thing. I appreciate that, but I want to compare it against the real thing. Favorite Spyderco Rex 121 Sage 5. Ooh. Okay. So as long, I was just curious if it was if they were adding a fifth blade shape to the lineup. I need a smock, and that 121. Oh, I still have yet to get a smock in the collection. I got to get more water, crew. This stream's going a bit long. I need more water, but I'll be right back. I guess I can still talk. I got the mic on. But yeah, smock, heinous, the smock, Canis, and Jimbo are three of the highest ones on my Spyderco list after a Tonto PM2. I need a Tonto PM2 to go with my clip point and my Warney. And I will say, as much as I love my Spydercos, and I do, this is one of my favorite knives of all time. In my collection of, hell, I don't know. I really need to do a full inventory. I keep saying that. But I'm going to say roughly 150 knives. Roughly. This is top 5 for me. But I still carry TRM more than Spyderco. Yeah, I carry, I don't have a single safe queen. I carry my knives. My most expensive knife is my SHF 3 1/4 Stormwatch edition. And this gets carried. And when I carry this, I typically carry this in my left rear pocket because I like this as a left-hand knife. Most of my frame locks, I don't really dig for my left-hand carry. So I end up carrying crossbar locks or top liners or something for my left hand. But this is a frame lock that I can use really well left-handed. And so this is carried in my back pocket quite often. No safe queens in my house. My TRMs. I chased this discontinued Shadow, one of my top grails, for well over a year. I carry this constantly. Like, this gets a lot of pocket time. I have too many. Yes. Well, no such thing as too many. But I try to rotate most of them through. Most of them I try to rotate through. Yeah. When I went to pull the Glideman out of one of my pockets, I reached in the wrong pocket first and pulled out my Rev B because it was also in the pocket. This has been the most carried folder in my collection over the last year. It's got more pocket time than any other folder and is one of the most perfect knives I believe I've ever handled. And this is the most expensive version of the Bulldog you can get. By the way, even fully pimped out with this beautifully gorgeous lizard skin 3D tie that blows their previous lizard skin away. These, and man, they tested one of these at 64.6 HRC. Yes, please, thank you, give me more. With my code, the full dress version of the Bulldog Rev B is only $375. And these start with my Carta and G10 at only $205 after my discount. Yeah, I love my TRMs. My most expensive TRM is my Mike Irie Custom Hollow Ground Atom with the lizard skin tie. And this gets carried all the time. I even broke the tip off of this. It's not quite as pokey until its next sharpening. I broke the tip a little bit. And that wasn't through use. Even though I use this, I was flicking it during a live and smacked an aluminum scale with it and broke the tip. But like, I carry and use the crap out of this. It's such a slicing beast. No safe queens here. You gotta use them. With a bunch of Rosies that they never use. If I had a Rosie, I would use it. Oh, show. Most expensive is probably still the Smock. Yeah. but everything you did to it, yeah, exactly. I hear you on that. Lizard Skin Neutron 2, more than any knife I have. You know, that was my absolute most carried folder by far until I got my Bulldog Rev B. I still carry it quite a bit because I love it, and I'll carry it with the Rev B. But if there's only one TRM on me, the Rev B gets more pocket time now, just because of how comfortable it is for my damaged hands. The extra width makes this more comfortable to me. Now, this still beats it as a lightweight slicer and something that takes up no pocket space. And I love them both, but the Bulldog Rev B gets more carry time, but I do carry all of these, including my holier nerd. Of course, you know, we're going to move some stuff. We've had that out all stream. Move you to. We're going to do some TRMs. We haven't done a full TRM stream this stream. This happens a lot on our streams because this is by far my favorite knife company. And I love sharing my growing TRM collection with y'all. But I need to wipe that blade down. And then the best production EDC fixie on the market, the TRM tag along. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan. I've already been talking to Marianne. I should be buying and getting a pit bull in here soon, so I can review the pit bull for you. I can't wait to review a pit bull for you guys. But y'all know TRM is my favorite company. And now I got to start in on the frame locks. I got to get a Neutron frame lock, and the Atom frame lock's about to drop. I'm going to need one of those. But this is the single biggest reason for my ever-growing love of titanium. I was not a big titanium fan at all when I started this stream. If all the OGs in here know, titanium was my least favorite handle material. And now I have more of it than anything else in my collection. I think I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I have more of titanium than anything else. And this right here, this knife is the one that got me to start carrying titanium the most. This is what turned things around for me and made it so now I love titanium, and I have a lot more knives that I like, but TRM's titanium is still my favorite. And this is the knife, the Neutron 2. This knife given to me by Marianne, thanks to BNA, the human cheat code, who let me review 3 of his knives. They saw my content, asked if they could send me a Neutron 2. I never expected the lizard skin tie. And since then, they've become my favorite knife company, my favorite knife people. And they really drove my love of titanium. X121 small. Yeah. Carried the G10 Atom a lot, way more than the Thai Neutron. Yes, it just, they're both phenomenal knives, and it comes down to preference. Do you like the larger neutron, I mean the larger atom or the smaller neutron. In the beginning, I wasn't as big. I preferred the neutron over the atom. And I still do prefer the neutron over the atom. It's a more comfortable fit in my hands because narrow knives don't really do well for my hands normally. Uh, TRM is the exception because the way their handles are made, they're still comfortable. But I do still prefer in my hands the ergonomics of the neutron too. But man, I love the atom as well, especially getting the YOUR Karry hollow grind in my collection was just, you know, that was the extra topping on the Sunday. If I had a Rosie, I would trade it for a non-frame lock. Using my new serrated Heretic Cleric too to cut steak yesterday. Knives fast. What's up, KC? Good to see you, homie. I hope you are having a killer day. Yeah, TRM. The atom is king. See, everybody has their favorite. TRM, A Big W, the best USA made deals. Yeah, that's hard to agree. Their pricing and quality level are unmatched. Most carried knife is the Fair Monster Glyman DBD edition. I love hearing that. Cursaw Believer is second pick. TRM is family. They are the knife community's family, but like when you get good with them, like, you feel like your family. Gonna have to get myself a bulldog. Been looking at a holier nerd. Yeah, the holier nerd is my favorite fifth pocket knife, even though it's not quite a little big knife. Like this isn't, I wouldn't call this a little big knife like I do the, pardon me, the Lil Native and some of the other smaller ones. But I can just barely get a full 4-finger grip, and I love this blade. Where this knife lives is in that utility grip. And then it's comfortable as hell. And it's a fantastic fifth pocket. But the Bulldog Rev B was my 2025 knife of the year. I was not a big fan of the original Bulldog. I didn't think they should have discontinued the Shadow. And I wasn't a big fan of the original Bulldog. I reviewed it. It was a well-made knife. I didn't like it as much as the Shadow. The Rev B is my 2025 knife of the year. It's that good. Have you seen the blue anodized titanium liner lock, Adam? I believe so. If you want to shoot a picture on Instagram, I'd share it with the crew. I think I've seen it. I'm sure you've dropped it in your Blue Monday carries. I know I've seen it. They really are nice people. Nothing, Jay Wesley, good to see you, homie. Nothing will ever replace Ultim. I'm up to 27 Ultim knives now. Nothing will replace Ultim, but I do have more titanium than Ultim. Like I'll always be an Ultim collector, and I still love to carry Ultim, but I carry the hell out of titanium in a way I never thought I would back when I wasn't a fan. You have a titanium addiction. That's what a lot of people say to me about my Ultim fixation. I have minimal carbon fiber. I don't dislike it. I like it. But I have less than a dozen carbon fiber knives because for so long I focused on finding Ultim, or now like the titanium has grown. I don't have a whole lot of carbon fiber, but I would say probably my favorite carbon fiber blades in my collection are the downdraft and the original stout. And my Jack Wolf, the Benny, and Fair Monster Urban Grip. Those would be my favorite carbon fiber knives in my collection. But yeah, carbon fiber is one I just don't have a ton of. I haven't chased a lot of it. This is one of the few that I like chased. This was a grail for me, the Tempest Downdraft with 80s camo carbon. This is one I did chase for show. And I love this knife. Horny for Warny. KC, you're killing it. KC has been dropping banger after banger after banger. I appreciate that, Robert Gates. Baptism, what's up? Agreed. Such a slim, tight knife. Yeah, I appreciate that, homie. Adam is your favorite. I knew size-wise. Yeah, Neutron is too small for a lot of people. Like I told, it's one of the knives that I knew people like War Room would not like it all. This is too small for my brother Tristan. But the way I use it in this utility style grip or pinch grip, it's perfect. But if you prefer to be able to get that full 4-finger little big knife grip, it's not going to fit a lot of people's hands. I barely get a full 4-finger, and I'm right up against the edge when I do. But that's not what I use this knife for. I use this like that. You know? ABW Slippy is a grail. Dude, it was the top. It was the top. Okay, drive safe. Don't worry about it. I do have the Ultim Titius. It was my 4th Ultim knife in my collection. Third Ultim knife in my collection. This is one of the more plastic feeling Ultims that you're going to feel. It still feels better than the Ultim on the Katuo Syndicate, by the way. But one of the more plasticer feeling Ultims, but I still like this knife. This was my first Ultim budget knife. And I like the budget good, the budget areas. I had the titanium one, but I traded that to Brother Jimmy. And I kept this one, and I have the jade as well, because the jade was a gift from Mrs. Deadly. So my 2 Titiae, my jade should be right. There it is. This is my only jade G10 in my collection. And yeah, that's my 2 Titiae. Killer knives. The AW Slippy. So I have some vertical marks underneath that finish, but other than that, this thing is so perfect. And this was the #1 slip joint on my grail list. I don't have very many slip joints that I really want. Another one that I really do want, though, is the Devo nip slip. But this was #1, and this gets carried every day now in my slip in my 5th pocket. I love the ABW slip. And I think it's fantastic value. Got you addicted to Ultim? Yay, yay, yay. Those three brands are the best carbon fiber. Favorite would be the 80 Kubi Velvet Snake. Oh, that's a really dope looking one. Really dope. Yeah, Downdraft is such a phenomenal knife, too. I love the size of it. I love this blade. And action, like all Tempest. So good. And it's a rear flipper that I love. Like, you know me, I'm a flipper delete the world and covered an Ultim guy. But this rear flipper's great. It's not in the way at all ever of my ergos. It disappears when I use it. That is the perfect rear flipper. That or a Chavez kick, or a Lee Williams kick stop. That's the only type of rear flippers I like. One that I can't see that's not in the way of my ergos when the knife is open. Love it. KC saying, hey to everybody, but he can't tag y'all eventually, individually, because he's driving. Oh, he did send it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I've seen this in Blue Monday pics. I knew it. We're going to share the screen, though. This is beautiful, folks. Look at that beautiful blue atom. That looks so good. I love, that's the new Rosecraft, what is it, the copperhead or some type of snake. That's the blue bone. Oh, that's the brand new one. That looks dope. Love it. Tenable Bison. Then we got all blued out. But that atom, woo! That is sexy. I'm not a blue fan at all, y'all. Cripple Crew knows this. But that is sex on a stick right there. Yeah. I was very disappointed by the Ultim on the Katuo Syndicate. The Ultim and Black Ultim both feel like cheap, crappy plastic. And it makes an expensive knife feel cheap. I'm not a fan of it. And I thought I was going to love those knives. A new addition to the Katuo Gangster lineup, and it's going to come in Ultim and Black Ultim. Doesn't that sound like that is me all day? Yeah, I do not like the Syndicate. Yeah, DTI. You're a big Jade fan? I don't dislike Jade. I just don't go for G10 very often. In G10, I like the color Jade. I just don't have very many. Only slipper you want is the overall farmhand. That's a good one. If I was going to recommend an Ultim slip joint, I only know about a couple. And the Tactile Knives Bear, Bexar, Bear, but pronounced Bear, is the one that I would look into. Boker also does a coffin bolter and Ultim, but it's actually more expensive than the American-made Tactile Bear. So I would recommend the American-made Tactile over the more expensive German-made Boker, just because. KC and Joseph Vero do the best flippers. Yay. They're not going to be doing any more Chavez with the kick stop. It was a perfect match, but maybe he's tired of paying the licensing fee for the kick stop on all of them. Snake Creek Copperhead, that's what it was. Thank you. So I was right on the Copperhead. Snake Creek Copperhead. That's what Casey was carrying. His Slippy. Such a beautiful, long, sexy warning. I like it. I like it a lot. Folks, we are pushing in on 3.5 hours today. And while it's been a blast, folks, my voice is giving out. So as much as I enjoy spending time kicking it with the Cripple Crew, as much as I love talking all the things going on in this crazy knife world today, we are going to have to cut this one. Folks, a couple things I want to say. I do want to thank everybody who watches these on the replay. Even if you can't join us live, it helps me so much when you watch a live after the fact. I appreciate y'all. Also, you know, I know dealing with life can get really tough. Oh, by the way, almost forgot. Dixon of the day is the voltage. But life gets tough, and people tend to suffer in silence. And mentals, I didn't used to give mentals a lot of importance personally. I honestly thought that, you know, people who whined about them being depressed or stuff like that, I thought they were weak until I came into a real situation in my life, disability, permanently disabled at under 40, and it crushed my mentals. And I realized that it's not weakness. Life is hard, and mentals get to be really tough. It's not weakness to want to reach out to somebody and talk. It's not weakness to want to reach out to somebody and ask if they'll pray with you. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit up so many people in this community. If you just need to talk to somebody, I'll pray with you. If you need to pray, if you want somebody to pray with, it can help you feel so much better. Your mentals are important, and you guys have done so much for my mentals. Don't let your own suffer. This community is here for y'all. And again, I keep my stream non-political, non-religious, but I will tell you right now, if you ever need somebody to pray with, hit me up on Instagram. I'm here for you. All right, Cripple Crew. I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you for spending your time with the Cripple Crew. Stay safe. Stay frosty. I bet you, but I'm going to stop real quick. Gabe Hartland, I understand that. I understand that completely. I used to have a phenomenal memory. And since my last surgeries, I don't. I have not only forgot entire parts of life, but day-to-day memory is shot now. And I understand how tough that can be. And it does mess with your mentals. But this community is here to help. Again, stay safe, stay frosty. Most importantly, Cripple Crew, stay freaking deadly.